Hello, it's Asia here with a project I did for Lindy's gang, and with a very nice technique, so stay tuned. I'm gonna be working in this tiny art journal now. This is just an ordinary notebook I found somewhere, but with a good thick paper, and I started to do mini projects. For this one I'm gonna be using shakers, Magnolia Magenta Gold and Autumn Maple Crimson, and the Magical. Magical comes from this set Autumn Leaves and is called Red Hot Poker Orange. This part is quite easy to do and nothing special about it. I just put a lot of water with a brush on the paper, and I'm sprinkling the Magical shakers from Lindy's all over the page. And this is a little unusual project for me because I normally leave a blank space on my art journal pages. This one, it's gonna be almost completely covered by the colors I used, but I actually like that and I decided to do something different. You have a little bit of control over how the colors go when you are tilting the page, as I do right now. And remember to dry from both sides, works much better. And this is the funny part. This is a magic leaf adhesive. It's a glue which is very watery, and it's used for metallic leaves, golden or silver. And what I'm doing is I took a brush and I'm sprinkling it all over the page. I used the tiny brush like you can see here, but later I decided to use also another brush, and with the help of my finger. Just remember to clean the brushes straight away. This one is actually an old brush, it's not working very well, and you can see me picking up the bristles from the paper. But with this brush I get a little bit more tiny dots. And look at that, I let it dry for a little bit of time, but some of the dots are quite big and they didn't dry, so I quickly dry it with a heat gun. I didn't speed up the process, so you can see that I use it for like a few seconds only. And this is my leaf adhesive, but I know you can use also a different one, the one which is more, this one is kind of very delicate, but they are also a different one which you use with a kind of spatula to remove the parts, or to glue the parts actually. But this one is, with this one that's not the case, because it's so tiny and so delicate. I actually had to put it all on the paper. It's a little waste, I admit, but at the same time I still have it and I just wanted the page to look nice. And so now when everything is glued, I'm removing the excess with a brush and with my fingers, just rubbing it off of the page. I absolutely love this technique. It's true, it's wasting quite a big amount of adhesive foil, but at the same time, just wait a second, you're gonna see the effect. It's amazing. I really love. And on top of that, you know, with magicals or shakers, you can get these colors which are like not exactly the color which is advertised on the box, because you get these tiny shades of different colors. And add to that the golden foil is just, to me, it's breathtaking. I really love it. I decided to also add some embossing. I'm using a Ranger embossing pad and a piece of stamp from Wild African. It's a joy stamp, and joy stamps are quite nice, also very easy to stamp and very cheap. And I'm gonna be embossing it with a purely white embossing powder from Lindy's gang. What I discovered while embossing with Lindy's powders is that actually for me the best is the first setting of the heat gun. When you start using the second setting of the heat gun, the powder very often flies a little. I mean, it does not fly completely off the page, but it may fly a tiny bit, especially if you have old embossing pad. So the best way is to actually start with the first setting, heat up well the powder, and sometimes you can even finish with the first setting, it will emboss perfectly. Sometimes you need to add a little bit of a second setting also, and then it will emboss lovely. And also, if you have powder which you think it did not stick properly to the page, the best way is to actually start from underneath the page. So from the back of the page, you start heating it up, and like that, you're sure the powder is not gonna fly away. I had some problems like that lately because I was using an old embossing pad, and I actually tried to refresh it with a glycerin, which works perfectly also, but I think it's not as sticky as the new embossing pad. So just remember about that. Use the first setting first. And right now you see me embossing beautiful chipboards from Snip-Art. I love the stars. I am fan of dots, and the stars have beautiful dots, and I was embossing it with purely white embossing powder again. And I'm adding some more stamping with Black Jet Archival ink. This is a Florilège design stamp. It's called Touche de Text. And for my focal point, I'll use paper dolls from Tim Holtz. This is a Christmas edition, so perfect for the page I'm doing. And I'm trying to arrange everything so it looks more or less okay. You've seen me, I cut part of the chipboard there to actually put it on the side of the page. I think that gives a little bit of extra interest. If there are not 3 perfect stars, but one is kind of going off of the page, especially that the color also kind of in this place where when I'm gonna put it, it actually goes also a little bit off the page. And I'm using tacky glue to attach it, and this is my old picking tool, I think, with which I was removing the excess of the glue. And this is also my way of blacking the edges. I was using a calligraphy pen, it's an old calligraphy pen, and now I'm gonna be adding some kind of a snow. I don't know what the name is because on the box it says nothing, so I don't know really the proper name, but it comes from Santoro. This is the company which produces Gorgeous. And look at that, the children are covered in snow. I really love that. They are small accents like that, but that I love, and I think the small accents like that add a lot of interest as well. And for the sentiment, I'm using also a Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers. There is one sentiment which I decided to cut in 3 pieces because the page is quite small, so the long sentiment wouldn't fit onto the page nicely. And just this bottom part, which is gonna go underneath the children's legs, I placed it with a 3D foam. And I always with 3D foam, or I usually add some tacky glue still so it holds better. Because with the paste and the embossing and the golden foil, it's not just the foam is not gonna stick well. And I do the same with the stickers. First I find the place for it, and then I'll just glue them with proper glue. And for the final touch, I'll use a Unibolsino pen in white to do some borders, some doodles. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I really love this technique with the golden foil. I find it's really nice. It gives a lot of interest. It's better if you see it in real life because the photos don't give it justice. Thank you so much for watching this video, sharing, liking and subscribing. And I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye.